Jessa Duggar's first baby today, death a day that changed everything. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. For Duggar family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. It was supposed to be one of the happiest days in Jessa Duggar's life. The Duggar family had gathered in quiet anticipation, the air filled with a mix of excitement and nerves. After months of waiting, Jessa was finally going to welcome her first child. But no one knew that this day would soon turn into one of the darkest chapters in the family's history, a day marked by tears, heartbreak, and unimaginable loss. Jessa had always been the strong one, calm under pressure, quietly confident, and filled with faith. Growing up as one of Jim, Bob, and Michelle Duggar's 19 children, she learned early on to stay composed amid chaos. But as the early morning sun rose over Arkansas, something felt different. Her husband, Ben Seawald, noticed her silence that morning. "You okay?" Jesse asked softly, touching her hand. Jessa gave a weak smile. "I just feel something's not right today." The joy that turned to tragedy by noon, contractions had begun. The family rushed to be by her side. Michelle, Jill, and Jana helped her through every breath, every painful moment. The Duggar house was filled with prayer and soft hymns as the family waited for the good news. Hours later, the cry of a newborn filled the air. A boy, tiny, beautiful, perfect. Ben's face lit up with joy, and Jessa's tired smile showed pure love. "He's here," she whispered. "Our baby boy." For a brief moment, the world felt right. Cameras were ready, siblings cheered, and Michelle called it a blessing from heaven. But within minutes, that blessing turned into a nightmare. The baby's breathing faltered. Nurses rushed in. The room changed from peaceful joy to pure panic. Monitors beeped. Jessa's face turned pale as she whispered what's happening. The nurse didn't answer. She pressed a button for the emergency team. Ben clutched his wife's hand as tears filled his eyes. "Please, God, don't take our baby. Please." The silence that broke every heart when the doctor finally looked up, his eyes said what his lips couldn't. "I'm so sorry," he murmured. Jessa froze. Her entire world shattered in that instant. The baby she had prayed for, dreamed of, and carried in her arms for only minutes was gone. The room was silent except for Jessa's quiet sobs. Michelle Duggar hugged her daughter tightly as Ben broke down beside the bed. "We did everything we could," the doctor said, his voice trembling, but nothing could fill the emptiness that followed. Jessa had been through difficult pregnancies before, but this was beyond anything she could bear. Her body went into shock. Her heart couldn't handle the loss. Within moments, her blood pressure dropped dangerously low. The nurses rushed to stabilize her as Ben shouted, "Stay with me, Jess." Please rushed to the hospital. The Duggar family van followed the ambulance to the hospital. The normally cheerful Duggar children were silent. Some prayed, some wept, others just stared out the window, trying to make sense of the tragedy. Inside the hospital, Jessa was placed under intensive care. She drifted in and out of consciousness, her mind replaying the last moments with her baby over and over. Ben sat by her bedside, holding her hand, whispering prayers. "You're not alone, Jess. We'll get through this. God's still here." Michelle stayed in the waiting room with her Bible in hand. Her tears fell onto the pages of Psalms. Jim Bob stood beside her, his arm wrapped around her shoulders, whispering verses of hope, but his voice cracked every few words. The Duggar family had faced controversies, criticism, and media storms. But this was something far more personal, something no camera could capture, no fan could understand. The family's prayers and faith. When word spread that Jessa had lost her baby, messages flooded social media. Fans from around the world shared condolences. But the Duggar family chose silence. Instead, they turned inward, toward faith, prayer, and each other. Jill Duggar, who had experience as a midwife, felt responsible. "Maybe I could have done something differently," she whispered to her husband, Derek. But he reminded her softly, "It's not your fault, Jill. Sometimes it's just God's will." Meanwhile, Jinger, who lived far away, flew home as soon as she heard the news. "I can't believe this," she said through tears at the airport. Jessa wanted this so much. At the hospital, Ben refused to leave Jessa's side. For 2 days, she remained weak and quiet, barely speaking. Nurses said her recovery depended as much on her emotional strength as her physical healing. When she finally opened her eyes fully, her first words were heartbreaking. "Where's my baby?" Ben couldn't answer. He just held her tighter as tears rolled down his face. A mother's grief days passed, but Jessa's room stayed dim and silent. Flowers filled every corner. Lilies, roses, cards, letters from fans. Yet nothing could ease the ache in her heart. Michelle sat beside her one afternoon and said softly, "Sweetheart, I know it hurts. But remember, your baby is with Jesus now." Jessa nodded weakly. "But I wanted him here with me." She later wrote in her private journal, something she hadn't done in years. "They tell me to be strong. But strength doesn't bring my baby back. I feel like a part of me died that day." The world looks the same, but it isn't. Her younger siblings would peek into the room occasionally, leaving drawings and cards on her bedside table. "We miss you," Jessa, one note said, written in a child's shaky handwriting. "Your baby is an angel now." Ben tried to stay strong for her, but even he broke down one night. Alone in the hospital chapel, he cried out, "God, why? Why us? We trusted you." The silence of the empty chapel was his only answer to the media storm. News outlets quickly picked up the story. Jessa Duggar hospitalized after tragic loss flashed across headlines. Reporters gathered outside the hospital, and camera flashes lit up the parking lot. The family released a brief statement. "We appreciate your prayers during this deeply painful time. Please respect our privacy as we grieve and heal," but fans wanted more. Some speculated about medical complications, while others criticized the Duggar family's home birth choices. Jill, furious at the rumors, posted on social media, "This is not the time for judgment. A baby's life was lost. Our hearts are broken. Please show kindness." Even family critics showed sympathy. Longtime followers of Counting On sent thousands of condolence messages, expressing love for Jessa and Ben despite differences. The tragedy united the fanbase in sorrow, a rare moment when compassion overpowered controversy. Recovery and reflection. After 2 weeks, doctors finally cleared Jessa to return home. But home didn't feel the same. The nursery that once waited with soft blankets and tiny clothes now felt like a room frozen in time. Ben gently closed the door. "We'll open it when you're ready," he said softly. At night, Jessa would sit by the window, holding the baby blanket close to her chest. She'd whisper lullabies she never got to sing. Her mother visited daily, reading scripture and helping her eat. Slowly, Jessa began to heal, not fully, but enough to take one breath at a time. On her first Sunday back at church, the congregation stood in silence before the service. Pastor Howard said, "Today we lift up Jessa and Ben for their courage, their faith, and their loss. Let us remember that even in pain, God's light shines through." Jessa couldn't hold back tears. But for the first time in weeks, she felt a strange peace, a message to the world. A month later, Jessa decided to speak publicly. Sitting beside Ben in a quiet living room, she recorded a short video for social media. Her voice trembled, but her message was powerful. "This isn't a story about loss. It's a story about love, the kind that never ends. Our baby may not be here with us, but we believe he's in a better place. If you're a mother who's been through this, you're not alone. I know how empty it feels, but I also know love never dies." Within hours, the video went viral. Thousands of grieving parents wrote to her, thanking her for her honesty and courage. It wasn't fame she wanted. It was connection. Healing through shared pain. The Duggar family's healing journey. Over the following months, the Duggars grew closer. Michelle began leading prayer circles for other mothers who'd lost children. Jim Bob, who rarely showed emotion publicly, opened up in a family vlog, saying, "Pain doesn't mean God's absence. It reminds us how deeply we love." Jinger sent her sister a hand-woven blanket from California with a note, "For your angel in heaven." Joanna and Jill organized a small memorial at the family property, just candles, prayers, and soft music. Each sibling placed a white rose beside a wooden cross engraved with the baby's initials, BJS Baby Jessa Seawold. That night, Jessa looked up at the stars and whispered, "I love you, my little one." Always finding purpose in pain, Jessa began volunteering at a local women's shelter, helping mothers who'd faced loss and hardship. She shared her story quietly, not as a celebrity, but as a survivor. One young woman hugged her after a session and said, "You don't know me, but your words saved me." Jessa smiled, tears glistening in her eyes. "Maybe that's why I went through it, to help someone else not give up." She later wrote in her journal, "Healing isn't forgetting. It's learning to live again with love in the cracks." Her faith, once shaken, now felt deeper than ever. After darkness, a year later, the Duggar home echoed with laughter again. Not because the pain vanished, but because life, somehow, found a way to move forward. Ben and Jessa stood hand in hand at the family's annual gathering. Michelle gave thanks before dinner, saying, "This year we learned that even in loss, God's grace is enough." As the family sang softly, Jessa felt a warmth in her heart, a presence she couldn't explain. She looked out the window and saw a single bright star in the sky. It reminded her of her baby boy, shining, pure, eternal. Ben placed an arm around her and whispered, "He's watching us." Jessa smiled. For the first time, it didn't hurt to believe that. Jana Duggar and Stephen officially divorced today. Finally, Stephen Wisman police arrest. The morning sun rose gently over Springdale, Arkansas, but for Jana Duggar, it was anything but a bright day. Her heart felt heavy, and her world, once filled with faith, hope, and family, was collapsing piece by piece. The news had already spread across town and online gossip sites. Jana Duggar and Stephen Wisman were officially divorced. For years, fans of the Duggar family had speculated about Jana's private life. Unlike her siblings, she had waited long to find love, always putting her family first. But when she met Stephen Wisman, a charming, soft-spoken pilot from Nebraska, everyone thought it was finally her time for happiness. Their relationship had seemed perfect, quiet, respectful, grounded in faith. But no one knew the storm that brewed behind those peaceful smiles. The perfect beginning. It started beautifully. Jana and Stephen met during a church gathering in 2019. He was a pilot. She was the calm, nurturing oldest daughter of one of the most famous Christian families in America. They bonded over music, faith, and service. The Duggar family approved quickly. Jim, Bob, and Michelle adored Stephen's calm manner, and he seemed to fit perfectly into their world. By 2021, rumors of an engagement swirled online. Fans spotted them together at weddings, church events, and family trips. Jana seemed genuinely happy for the first time in years. She told her close friend Laura, "Stephen understands me. He's patient, kind, and doesn't judge me for living in my family's shadow." Everyone expected a fairy tale ending, but fairy tales don't last forever. The cracks appear. After their quiet wedding in early 2023, Jana and Stephen moved to a small property near Rogers, Arkansas. Stephen often traveled for work, piloting private flights and managing his family's construction business remotely. Jana, used to a busy household, found herself alone for the first time in her life. Days turned into lonely nights. Jana poured her heart into decorating their home, volunteering at church, and caring for her garden. But Stephen's absences grew longer and his tone colder. He'd return home and avoid conversations. "Work's been hard, Jana. Don't start." He'd snap whenever she asked about his day. Something had changed. The warmth was gone. One night, while checking the family laptop, Jana found messages she wasn't meant to see, conversations between Stephen and another woman. The words were emotional, intimate, personal. Jana's heart shattered. She couldn't believe it. Her world, built on faith and trust, started to crumble. Silence in the family. When the Duggars found out, they were torn. Jim Bob was furious, not at Stephen, but at the scandal. The family had already endured enough public criticism after Josh Duggar's downfall. Now another controversy. Jana. Maybe it's just a misunderstanding. Michelle tried to calm her daughter. "You know, men sometimes need guidance. Pray for him." But Jana wasn't naive anymore. She had seen enough. This wasn't just emotional distance. Stephen was hiding something deeper. Jinger, now living independently in Los Angeles, was the first to support her. "You don't have to stay in something that's breaking you," she told Jana over the phone. "God doesn't ask you to suffer in silence." For months, Jana stayed quiet, pretending things were fine. She appeared in family photos, smiling faintly, while inside, she was crumbling. The police knocked. The turning point came in August 2025. It was a humid evening when police cars arrived outside Jana and Stephen's home. Flashing lights painted the walls red and blue. Neighbors peeked through their windows, whispering. Stephen Wisman was arrested. The charges were shocking: fraud, false financial reporting, and violation of aviation regulations. Investigators claimed he had been falsifying documents related to his private flight operations, using company funds for personal gain. Jana stood frozen at the doorway as the officers led her husband away in handcuffs. Her heart pounded as cameras flashed outside. The scene felt unreal. Her husband, the man she once admired for his integrity, now labeled a criminal. As reporters shouted questions, Jana quietly closed the door, tears rolling down her face. It was over. The divorce announcement a week later, Jana's representative released a simple statement after much prayer and consideration. Jana Duggar and Stephen Wisman have decided to part ways. They asked for privacy during this difficult time. The internet exploded. Fans flooded social media with mixed emotions, some expressing sorrow, others claiming they saw it coming. "Poor Jana. She never deserved this," one commenter wrote. Another added, "The Duggar curse continues." Inside the Duggar home, things were tense. Jim Bob, worried about public image, tried to keep the matter quiet. But Jana refused silence this time. She told her family, "I've spent my life protecting everyone else's reputation. This time, I'll protect myself." For the first time, Jana chose freedom over family pressure. Life after the fall, Jana moved out of her family's compound and rented a small house near Bentonville. It was modest but peaceful. She started a gardening business, Grace and Greenery, offering landscaping and floral services. Slowly, she rebuilt her confidence. But even as she tried to move forward, the whispers followed. People asked about Stephen's trial, about whether she'd attend court. She didn't. She had closed that chapter of her life. In a journal entry leaked months later, Jana wrote, "I once believed love meant staying no matter how hard it gets. But sometimes, love means letting go of what destroys your peace." Those words resonated with thousands online. She became a quiet symbol of strength for women raised in strict, conservative households, proof that even the most obedient daughter could find her voice. The courtroom truth. Stephen Wisman's trial began in October 2025. The evidence was overwhelming: falsified flight logs, stolen funds, and questionable partnerships with clients abroad. His charming demeanor couldn't save him this time. Prosecutors painted a picture of greed and manipulation. Mr. Wisman used his position to enrich himself while deceiving others. One lawyer declared. When the verdict came, guilty on multiple counts, Stephen's family sat silently, heads bowed. He was sentenced to several years in federal prison. Jana didn't attend, but she followed the news from home. When she saw his picture on the screen, she whispered softly, "I forgive you, but I'm free now." The Duggar divide. The divorce didn't just affect Jana, it shook the entire Duggar family dynamic. Some siblings sided with her. Others thought she should have kept the marriage for the sake of Christian unity. Joanna and Jill visited her often, helping her with the new business. But Jim Bob avoided public mention of the situation. He refused interviews, fearing another wave of bad press. Michelle, torn between loyalty to her husband and love for her daughter, secretly supported Jana. "I just want you to be happy, sweetheart," she whispered during a rare visit. "I know how strong you are." The family, once united under one roof, now stood divided, each member walking their own path of faith, rebellion, or independence. Healing and hope. By early 2026, Jana's life looked different. She smiled more often, attended therapy, and even started speaking at women's retreats about emotional resilience and faith after betrayal. At one event, she said something that silenced the room. "I grew up believing silence was strength, but silence can also be a prison."